Hey y'all, welcome to Paige's Perspective, where I help you find your inner strength to cope with life. So it's September, which is apparently National Recovery Month. And when I hear the word recovery, I automatically think recovering from substances or alcoholic. And it's so much deeper than that. And we may think of a recovering alcoholic or drug addict, or maybe someone who is recovering from a mental illness, but rarely do we think of a spouse or partner of an alcoholic or addict. Yes, I will continue to say addict or alcoholic for the time being, as my husband is over 11 years sober and still uses the word. He does not get offended by it. Anyway, so recovery for an addict or alcoholic is not just about removing the substances. It's about emotional maturity, behavioral changes, spiritual growth, rebuilding trust, taking accountability, and finding the balance in life. Basically it's about becoming an adult and choosing growth. It's a process that takes a long time, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to recognize the partners and spouses' recovery. We have healing to do too. We have changes to make within ourselves. We need to heal from emotional and psychological abuse, restore our self-worth and identity, learn how to set healthy boundaries, build emotional resilience, and make empowering decisions to become the healthiest version of ourselves. There's so much more that goes into it, but there aren't many resources out there for us. We don't have the ability to get away from reality to heal and learn to love ourselves again. We're the ones who try to keep everything together. We're the ones making sure the kids are taken care of. We're the ones putting ourselves on the back burner so everything doesn't burn down. We are the ones who are lied to, manipulated, betrayed, gaslit. We're the ones putting in effort, trying to keep families together. We're the ones trying to fucking survive and make things work. When we put ourselves into everything, and sometimes it feels like it's our only option since the addict is more like a child than a partner, we end up losing ourselves. We forget our values and what we stand for. Every time we're lied to by our most intimate partner, we will lose ourselves more and more. And we have to recover from that. And it's really difficult to recover and heal in a place where the lies and abuse are still happening, where the addict hasn't chosen their own recovery path, where the substance is still present. We have to be in a healthier environment for recovery to truly stick for us. Yes, we can start the process, but it's going to be really difficult to get through it when our partner isn't choosing growth either. So for me, I didn't begin recovering until 4 years after my husband started his recovery journey. I didn't understand the major impacts living with the life that we lived had on me. When you're in it, it's very difficult to see clearly. So I like to think of it as driving past a home that has random junk scattered across the yard or lots of weeds, maybe a dead tree. The houses that are not really kept up with. Those living in those homes typically don't realize the mess they have because they're living in it. Outsiders have a different perspective and can see it for what it is, an unhealthy environment. And this is similar to what it was like in my environment where active addiction was present. And I'm going to change my verbiage to where active asshole was present because I don't focus on the substances. I just thought I married an a-hole, and I did. He was a liar, a manipulator, selfish man-child who only cared about himself. And it's true. Don't come at me because he would agree. And I felt like I had no choice but to accept what was. I normalized it. I thought things would get better eventually, even though they just kept getting worse. Then he got help and started his recovery journey, and it took years for me to understand the mess we were living in and how unhealthy it really was. We had to be removed from it in order to feel the effects and start recovering myself and our marriage. And I had to learn to trust my instincts again. I had to learn how to manage my anxiety and panic disorder. I had to find myself again. That's what recovery is for us. It's finding our voice when we've been shut down. It's practicing self-care. It's becoming present. It's learning how to deal with uncertainty. It's figuring out your purpose. It's understanding that you aren't crazy. It's learning how to communicate and recognize that there is not really a healthy communication with an a-hole. It's understanding our values and what we will not tolerate. It's understanding that we can't control another person. It's learning how to be you again, or even a new you. I'm not the same person I used to be, and that's okay. I don't want to be the naive person I was. I don't want to be stepped all over. I want to be a new and improved me, a person who can recognize red flags, a person who gives 3 strikes and they're out, a person who isn't easily manipulated. Our recovery is about digging deep and realizing we aren't powerless, that we can live a healthier life by making healthier choices. So we have a wheelie who wrote a letter from the perspective of the spouse of an alcoholic, and he gave me permission to share it on our podcast. This letter is powerful and expresses the feelings many spouses have. Maybe this can help others understand what we go through or what we have gone through. All right, a letter from the spouse of an alcoholic. Everyone says this is a disease. Everyone says to have compassion, to detach with love. Your love of the drug is stronger than your love of anything else. We try, we hope, we cry, we yell. We hear the empty promises. You tell us you will stop, and then tomorrow comes. Wash, rinse, and repeat. We are 2 people at opposite ends of the spectrum. You ask from us something you have none of yourself: compassion, empathy, and vulnerability. You go back out and are welcomed back to the rooms of recovery with a round of applause. You are told you are courageous. Your fragile ego is filled, yet the collateral damage is done, and we are left to tend to the wounded. Yes, the 12 steps eventually teach you to make the amends, but the reality is you've never been able to truly get past step 1. We feel the most collateral damage from your addiction. We are left with the kids asking if you're coming home. We are left with the plans that are broken. We are left to detach with love. Yet if we bring up struggles, we are told to support you by people who have no conception of the hell we are living. If we set boundaries with you, we are subjected to your abuse. We are perfect victims for you. You see, like you, we aren't wired like most. We have a deep compassion, and many of us have deep empathy. We stick around when most would have left years before. We see the good in you that you cannot see yourself. When we finally break, we are called names like narcissistic, unsympathetic, controlling, or even worse. You use phrases like relapse is part of recovery, and it is a disease. They may shield you from taking accountability, but they don't undo the damage you have allowed to happen. You expect us to apologize for our actions only to deflect your behavior. And guess what? We usually do. You surround yourself with people who say we are the problem and cut those out who love you but say the tough things. You drain us emotionally, financially, and spiritually. Many of us get to a point where we now hate the disease and the addict, and you still show no signs of remorse. Yes, you apologize to superficial relationships, but to those who gave it their all with you, always had your back, you discard us like yesterday's trash. Today, that stops. We are pissed. We are angry. We are not saying that we have it worse than you or others, but we have a right to feel our feelings. People compare this disease to cancer and say, if they had cancer, would you act like this? And the answer is no. But guess what? If you had cancer and I was tending to all your needs to help you survive, people would be rallying around both of us. If it was cancer, it would be the 2 of us versus the world. Instead, it is you and this addiction versus everyone you love, and very few are there to help us pick up the pieces. Most of us want you to have a happy, healthy life. At the very least, most of us want one small thing: for you to take responsibilities for how you have damaged us and own that. You hide behind, it's in the past, and let it go. We all want something we will most likely never get: a heartfelt apology. So the next time you are in your meeting with your new sober friends, maybe stop and think about us. We don't say this to shame you. We say it because we know the only way is through. We know that the only way to heal is to face the tough things. Why do we know this, you ask? How do you think we can be so angry at you, love you, and be so grateful you are no longer in our lives all at once? Because we have faced our fears. Wow. This letter is so powerful, and I'm so proud of the Wheelie for putting this out there. It's okay for us to be angry, damn it. They get an excuse for all of their behaviors, yet we aren't allowed to be angry. Anger is such an important emotion, and if we hold it back, it will come out in ways that are super unhealthy. We must use the anger to drive change. Okay, that's a whole different episode. So the next time you congratulate someone in recovery, I encourage you to reach out to their partner or spouse and see how they're doing. They had a front row seat to the shit show and would like some acknowledgement as well. Let's not allow them to be the forgotten ones. So if you're looking for a way to recover as a spouse or partner, we have our own online program called Independently Strong. Many spouses and partners of addicts come to us feeling lost. Not because they are powerless, but because they've had to sacrifice their values and compromise their authenticity to manage life with an addict. Our program is designed to help them reclaim their sense of self and find clarity, whether they choose to stay in the relationship or leave it behind. Our unique approach, called VEER, guides them through 4 steps. Validate. We provide a safe space to express emotions like fear, frustration, resentment, and anger that have often been suppressed. Healing begins with acknowledgement. Educate. Using social learning theory and addiction education, we help people untangle their confusion and gain a clearer understanding of addiction, its behaviors, and the realities of recovery. Empower. Through self-care, boundary setting, and personal growth, we help them shift focus inward and regain control over their own lives, regardless of their partner's choices. Recover. Armed with confidence, people can now make decisions about their relationship, whether to repair it or leave, based on clarity, not confusion. Our program offers hope for those wanting to rebuild their relationship, showing what real recovery looks like and how a healthy, equal partnership can be restored. At the same time, we support those who recognize that not every relationship can or should be saved. We help them gain the strength to leave if necessary, but from a place of empowerment, not fear. We are an alternative to traditional programs like Al-Anon. Our aim is simple: to help spouses and partners live a life of their own choosing, rooted in reality. We provide the tools and understanding to make the choice with confidence, whether that means repairing a relationship or moving on to a healthier future. So check out independentlystrong.com or twfo.com for more info. That's all I have for this week. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, I'm Paige. Bye.